Gohan, what's going on with abortion?
Hi guys, how are you doing?
Doing all right.
All right.
Yeah. I called. I think the last time I called was a couple months ago, and I talked to Mr. Angel, and we talked about abortion. We got into a discussion on. It wasn't exactly a personhood discussion, but a bodily autonomy discussion. And today I just kind of want to go a little bit broader with just a discussion on all of it. I was going to give my stance and see if you guys could kind of poke holes in it.
Okay, that's fair.
We'll see. I don't know.
Maybe we can. Maybe we can.
I'm sure you can. I gave a call to one of your other shows.
What show was that?
Night, and they poked some holes on it, so I'm trying to refine it just a little bit. My premise is you should not be able to kill a human organism unless there's a high risk of severe harm. That's my premise.
That sounds like a conclusion.
Yeah.
Not a premise. The premises would be what support the conclusion, right? If I can be a bit of a pedant. Okay, so there's the first place my brain went to was you used the words the should, right, and should not. How do we figure out what the hell we should and should not do?
And this is kind of where the other call went as well. It kind of goes down to the path of morality, but what I want to do is just say, if somebody agrees with this stance, I would expect all secular humanists to agree with the stance, because secular humanists hold humanity to a higher value. And the most scientific way to define what is a human is define it as a human organism, because being is not a scientific term. So this is kind of the stance. If somebody already agrees with it, should they be against abortion?
I'm not sure that you answered the question. I mean, because let's be really clear. Because the stakes for this conversation, for the abortion conversation, are high, right? And if we're being really super honest, this isn't something that affects, white cishet males, guys like Johnny and I, to the degree that it affects, people who have the capacity to give birth all over the world, right? It's always an interesting and touchy thing when people talk about what rights other people should and should not have, right? What medical care should other people have access to? Yeah. I'm saying you disagree that the stakes are high?
He disagrees that we shouldn't be speaking about it? What do you disagree about?
No, I agree that the stakes are high, but I disagree that you guys are excluded from the high stakes. I think everybody.
I did not say that. I didn't say we are.
Yeah.
I think we can totally have the conversation. I just think that we need to be, clear about who the stakeholders are, how this affects people.
Everybody is a stakeholder, because you could have been aborted just as easily as the next person. So the stakes are high for everybody.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I'm not going to keep going down this track, but okay. So let's, I haven't heard yet from you how we go about figuring out what we should and shouldn't do. Like, what's the analysis for what we should and shouldn't do? Is it reduction of harm? Is it what God wants? Like, what are we doing?
No, I think that's a fair question. And this was a question that it went to last time I called, so I want to kind of be a little bit more exact with this. This is more of, if you agree with this argument, then you should be against abortion. And I feel like all secular humanists do agree with this argument.
Okay, so again, it's not an argument. It's just an assertion that you've made, that abortions should not happen unless it's going to cause, unless continuing with the pregnancy is going to cause severe harm, right? That's the claim?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
If you agree
I do not agree with that.
Okay. Are you a secular humanist?
I am.
Why would you not agree with that?
Because, okay, several reasons. Okay. I don't know, severe harm. This is a subjective thing here. I don't know what constitutes severe harm in this statement. Okay. I also think that even if it's not going to cause severe harm to somebody, if they don't want to carry a baby to term, I don't think there's any justification for forcing them to. So
In
that's where I
argument,
land in simple terms.
In that stance, there's nothing about a baby. I'm just wondering if, as a secular humanist, you agree with that stance. Sounds like you're saying no because you don't. There's no defined term of severe harm. Is that right?
Well, that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is this issue of bodily autonomy.
Well, bodily autonomy is not in
and this is why I tried to clarify the moral question at the beginning of how do we figure out what we should and shouldn't do. Because from where I'm sitting, if somebody is pregnant and they decide that they don't want to be pregnant no more, then there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to not be pregnant no more.
What if they are harming a human organism?
What is a human organism?
High risk of severe harm.
A clump of cells.
What is a human organism?
No. Cells can be organisms, but I mean they could also be tissues or just a clump of cells. But a zygote is defined scientifically as a human organism, not tissue. It is a human organism.
So we're back to square one. Why would it be wrong to destroy a human organism?
Because that's the only scientific way to define a human is a human organism. So
I'm not asking about the definition. If we just say a clump of cells is a human organism, why is it wrong to harm or destroy a human organism?
This is coming from a secular humanist standpoint. If you are a secular humanist, you already agree with that. Am I wrong?
You are wrong. I'm asking you, why would it be wrong to harm a human organism?
No, I don't know. I thought all secular humanists agree with that. If you could educate me on why you don't agree harming human organism as a secular humanist, I'm all ears.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. What is harm?
So are you kind of asking me like what is like a level of harm that this would apply for?
What is harm? What is harm? Because where my brain is going is, say you've got some blastocyst, you've got some clump of cells that has the potential to become a baby. It sounds to me like what you're saying is that this is it would fall under the definition of human organism. But this clump of cells has no capacity to feel pain. It has no experiential potential on its own. So what is harm, and could it be subjected to harm?
I mean, so there's plenty of humans who are alive today and are born who have the same capacity to feel harm. So
I'm asking you to answer the question, please. So you've got a clump of cells that doesn't have the capacity to feel anything.
Yep.
Would destroying it be harmful to it? Would terminating that pregnancy cause harm?
It would be as harmful as killing a human who can't feel.
So what is harm?
A born human who can't feel.
What is harm?
I would say it could be physical, current harm, or it could be harm by limiting options of the future.
What is harm? Are you saying it's to eliminate possibilities of the future, discontinued existence, pain, existential harm? What is harm?
I would say all of that. Yes, does fall under the category of harm. I would not say that's a complete list of what's harm, but I would say yes, all that does.
What else would you add to the list of harm? What else would you add to that list of harm?
Off the top of my head, that's probably it. But I'm not limiting it. If there's something else, I'm open to hearing what.
When you talk about limiting or getting rid of future experiences as being harm, my brain went to that Metallica song "One," where it's about the guy in World War II who gets his arms and legs blown off and is blind and deaf and can't speak and is just trapped inside his mind and can't go anywhere and is just in unbelievable pain and agony, but can't communicate with the outside world.
I can quote it, but I'll get in trouble if I do.
Right. I mean, so that person's only wish was to die. And so I'm going in my brain, I'm going, okay, there's tons of possible experiences that ending that person's life would eliminate.
Based on a true story.
Would it be harmful to them to eliminate those future experiences?
I would say you'd have to measure that harm versus the harm of what they're going through now. And that's how you can determine which one is more harmful.
Okay.
This is
all right. Gohan.
So fuzzy.
Gohan. Is it harm? Answer. Just answer. Is it harm?
So
in your estimation.
I did say yes.
No, I didn't hear the yes. Okay. I didn't hear the yes.
No, that's I said yes, and you'd have to determine how much harm limiting their future is versus how much harm they're in right now. And from there, you can kind of weigh the two. If you're asking,
okay, go ahead and weigh it out for us. Show us your work. Go ahead and weigh it out and show us why yes.
Why yes? What? Why is it harmful, or why
would it be harmful to allow Johnny from Johnny Get Your Gun? I think that's what it's called, the book, which is based upon a true story, which is horrifying. You should go ahead and read it if you like to be horrified. Why is it wrong to allow that person to die when they're beating "Kill Me" into the back of their headboard? Why would that be harmful if they want to die? In Morse code.
I never said it was harmful.
You didn't say it was harmful. I thought you said yes.
Sorry, no.
And again, I pulled this off track because.
Can I respond really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I never said it was wrong. I never said it was wrong to kill him. I just said you have to, or let him die. I just said you have to measure the harm. And that is a separate question about euthanasia, which I'm fine to address. Okay. I do have my opinions on it.
Let's keep it to the baby stuff, right? Because like my question now, because I really want to pin this down. Would it be wrong for somebody to use a condom because by preventing a possible life from being created, they are taking away possible experiences from a potential human being?
The argument doesn't include potential human organisms. It only includes human organisms.
Why?
Yeah,
so
why?
That's because a human organism is the only scientific way to define a human being. Potential human organism is not a human organism. So sperm cell is not a human organism. It's haploid.
Wait. Why not? Wait a minute. Wait, why not? Why not? Because you're talking about human cells with the potential for a life down the road. So where do you draw the line, and why do you draw it there? This all sounds so arbitrary. I'm just gonna say it. This sounds to me like, and because I've seen you've made other calls, we've interacted in the past. I know that the foundation here is Christian theism, and that you believe that God thinks abortions are wrong, right? So this sounds to me so much, and I may be wrong. This sounds to me so much like a person who's got their conclusion and who is desperately trying to find a way to rationalize it.
If it might surprise you, I was an atheist for a little bit, and I went to college and I became a Christian.
What convinced you?
At the same time, I became more pro-life when I took my genetics class.
Cool. Go in. What convinced you? What convinced you of the existence of Jesus Christ as being the personal savior of the world? What was it?
I would say, so I have a little acronym I use. I use the arguments from logic, reason, and morality, and I use science to kind of direct me towards a theistic view, and I use history and personal experience to direct me to a Christian point of view. If you want to go into, but I do not base my basis of abortion off of my theism.
It seems like you do, but But I hear you. You don't think you do, but it seems like it to me, and I need to be convinced otherwise. But go ahead.
Okay.
I really like that you called and you told us this, because I think that I want to explore. I know you're very interested in this abortion argument, because I know you've called many times. I'm just going to say, before I finish this thought, I don't want to lose it. 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days. 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days. You may want to watch it. For me, there's a social consequence of it, a societal structure consequence, a legal consequence to this whole abortion debate. And that movie, that fiction, is merely an example, just merely a little vignette into the world of what the world would look like when we have these clever, interesting little conversations about the morality of allowing abortions to be legal. But with that said, Gohan, we've got fertile ground on why you became a Christian. Why don't we talk about that next time? We could probably have 10 calls on that. And
yeah, we could.
Let's
I
do
don't
it.
mind
Let's
doing
do
that
it.
either.
Yeah, let's do it. I like that.
Well, do you want to switch subjects now?
No.
Okay.
We don't have time. Kenneth has laryngitis. Yeah. I can't hear a word he's saying,
sorry.
but it's okay, because I can speak for him.
Yeah, I muted my mic because I was coughing and hacking over here. So the what I would like you to do is this: go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
With respect to nailing down clear definitions for harm and for morality. Like, if we're thinking about the basis of what we should or shouldn't do, I would say, rather than trying to project to be like, okay, here's what all humanists believe, because that's going to be a mess for you. Try to figure out what you believe the basis for morality is, and we'll go from there. So
can I respond to that really quick?
Go for it. You'll have the last word, and then we're going to move on to another caller.
Sure. As far as what harm goes, I do not have like a set definition of how harmful it should be, or what the high risk needs to be in order to kill another human organism. I just think whatever that level is of high risk of severe harm needs to be consistent throughout all human organisms.
And you're also using words like kill.
A 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is loaded language. I mean, is a zygote alive? There are so many questions that I would have for you that I don't think we're ready for.
Yeah, this is a longer conversation. We've been over this again. I do appreciate you calling in, and we're gonna get to this, because I want to hear more about this, just not today. And I'm not shutting you down. We're hiding from your argument. We just don't have time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got time. Yeah. We're moving on. But thank you, Gohan. Call earlier in the show next time, and we'll spend more time on it for sure.